everybody, we are back. We've been playing pretty well. We must have won Ascension 8 last time. Because I mean, we were pogging up like crazy. Also, on the bike this morning, I won an Ascension 10 ride as the Silent. Can I say that? You might say, NL, what was your secret? Same thing it was on Ascension 7, 8, 1, 4. The numbers, Mason. It was Burst Alchemize, man. I'll take a curse and 250 gold. It's just, I'm in love with Alchemize, man. Like Jessica Simpson said in that song, I think that I'm in love with you. What does she say? You got me doing different things than I normally do. Something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Any Jessica Simpson fans in here? She's kind of... Okay, I was going to say something that is a little bit dismissive. I was going to say she was kind of the original Hawk Tuah, which is not fair. Because they're famous for different things. Hawk Tuah is famous for something that's self-evident. Jessica Simpson famous for being a singer. And then also on a reality show where she said that she thought that tuna was actually chicken because they call it the chicken of the sea. And then I believe also she thought that buffalo wings came from buffaloes. It was a simpler time where that was enough to get you mocked instead of, well, you know, let's not get into it. You can fill in the sentence, I'm sure. Anyway, now, we got a great setup here right off the bat, man. I would even add a dodge and roll. And my whole reason behind adding a dodge and roll is that we have money right now. I can live with that. And I don't want to go on a 3 elite path, so put me right here. We have money right now, and I tend to add defense too late to the deck. We should be adding it earlier. I tend to add it a little later. But I love what we've done with our deck so far, man. Even though we didn't buy, like, a relic from the shop. What did we do? Well, we bought 2 good attacks that are both in a theme with one another. Which means that something like a Sneaky Strike can totally work now, man. It can totally work. And then, I just think Noxious Fumes, it probably works best if you're going to do something like Catalyze, but it also works, like, just fine as something to remove artifacts from enemies, I think. So this is, like, an incredible start, dude. Because look at this. Look at this. I wish that we had been... Noxious, it takes a while to build up. Maybe it's not necessary on this fight. And... I think we're doing just fine, man. We don't have a ton of firepower in the deck. I'm willing to slow play it just a little bit. We don't have a ton of firepower in the deck yet, but we have some pretty big turns. This is not going to be one of them. But in theory, if you can get discards plus Sneaky Strike on the same turn, you can do quite a lot of damage. That is a discard plus a Sneaky. But in order to... Yeah, we have to put up 0 block except for what we already got in order to get it done. Because Sneaky requires 2 to play. And as you gotta deal the damage. I wish that we could have put up some block there, but that's just the price you pay. That was not bad. That wasn't bad at all. Honestly, I have a tendency to like a Piercing Wail. Why am I clicking so fast? This is like, there's just no need for this level of alacrity, man. Do me a favor, dump a basic. We can still... Oh, if we'd kept the basic, you would be dead. Now, you're already dead anyway if we draw, like, a single attack. But it's just another reminder to do the math for once. I do tend to be a Blade Dance enjoyer, if I'm being legit with you. But if we're gonna tighten up the discard archetype, I don't want to add stuff. Even if the cards are better than starting cards, the cohesion of the deck is very important. I'd rather not add another dodge and roll until we have, like, a footwork. I really don't... Same thing with Deflect, honestly. I kind of hate to skip a card so early, but... It's gotta be done, it's gotta be done. Narrator voice, it did not have to be done. Well, that's just like your opinion, man, or whatever. This is a great setup, because one unload gets a kill. Probably, definitely. And... It's gonna sting, huh? I was gonna say a Sneaky Strike also gets a kill, but you're gonna have to take my word for that because we didn't draw it on the right turn. But that's okay. I think we got a pretty decent start for a discard archetype. I would love to see the Hexaghost. Oh, it is the Hexaghost. We love it. On Hexaghost, ideally, I'm going to try to fight the elite, though. It's a little scary. Very nice. And then I'll take my riches and leave, please. These tend to be long fights. I do want to take a look here for a second, just to see. I guess I would... Let's do this, man. Piercing Whale was also, like, fine there, but I think Noxious Fumes, because these fights tend to be a little longer, Noxious Fumes makes a lot of sense. Okay, you've got to be dead. I didn't discard any cards, so I don't get a refund from playing sneaky, bro! I like my snakes, I like my strikes sneaky, bro, but there's nothing we could do about it here. Okay, put up some defense. We don't want to lose too much HP before the boss. I mean, the boss does scale with your HP, but at the same time, just one man's opinion, you also need like 1 HP to live, so... Stone Calendar, very interesting. Prepared, very nice. We should be fine, man. Like, we should be absolutely A-okay. I'm actually gonna go over the top, and I'm gonna make Noxious Fumes a little bit more playable. And I can live with it. I can live with it. Now, I do think we should probably pop a Strength Potion just to stay ahead of the game. I do think we should play Noxious. I mean, this seems pretty good. I guess I would dump a defend, play a sneaky, then you got Piercing Whale, so you take 0, but then they take 6, because they're hitting me. They take 18, because they're hitting me 6 times. I got my numbers confused, Mason. It's okay. Alright, we're gonna clear this fight easily, honestly. What I was gonna say about the Hexaghost earlier, before I lost my train of thought, is like... With the Hexaghost, you need some kind of, like, progressive damage. And honestly, that's the other reason I upgraded Noxious, is because it does deal more damage over time. Whereas, like, what I worry about here is that our deck gets too thin. Well, not thin, it gets too thick, I guess, because of the burns. And then we stall out and can't finish the job. But, like, even just a small... accrual of poison. Very helpful. Now, none of these cards are what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see was Alchemize. I don't really see anything that I want to, like, triple. So I think Nightmare's kind of out. And I think Storm of Steel just doesn't really fit what we're doing. Although I will admit with extra strength, it's like... There's a chance, because every Shiv is, like, disproportionately affected by strength, because the attacks cost 0, so the more of them you have, the merrier. And Doppelganger, I mean, I'm sure there's just something to do with it that I, like... I guess it's just, like, it's easy to slot into, like, multiple sorts of styles of deck. Like, I'm never gonna be mad to see it, but I guess at worst, I might be, like, a little disappointed. But if I'm being honest with you, I think we should go this way and then try to get the 2 elite fights, either this one and then at the top and this one at the top. We can only get 2 elites on any path. So let's also hit a path that gives us a shop because we have so much gold. And with that in mind, like, I think we got a pretty good thing going on here. I mean, keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. You know what I'm saying? All I know. So we really should have played Unload. No, you can't, because if you play Unload, you lose all your defense, man. Had to be done. And 3 attacks beats 1 good 2 attack in this situation because of the Vira. Something worth thinking about. You know what? If we're taking 2 damage, we actually got a great opportunity to use Doppelganger. Maybe the Ascension 9 to 20 could be, there's a little cope involved here, but maybe that could be like where I learned to fall in love with Doppelganger, a card that I really haven't given the time of day ever. This is where you say, nah, it's actually like kind of mid. Which I could totally believe for the record. Okay. We got to keep the discard meta strong, because it's those combos that are giving us pace. And I'm not talking about a New York salsa, okay? I can't really deal with the piercing whale. I guess... I think I can just kill you next turn. I really hope... We got lucky. I was gonna say, I hope I don't regret not playing Noxious Fumes, because you gotta get through the artifacts in order to actually deal some... Right, in order to apply, like, any debuff whatsoever. I really like Discovery as a card. I would love it if... I mean... Whetstone is really cheap. We don't have much that works with Pen Nib super well, but it would be nice to have. Even Choke, like if we can get the combo going, if we can get a discard, then Sneaky Strike gives us energy back. It takes a lot of setup because the Choke costs 2 to begin with, but... I mean, there's a Secret Weapon is pretty good, man. But I do feel like if a Whetstone hits 1 non-strike, I'm happy with the purchase. I can live with it. It's not the attack I would have chosen, but I can live with it. I do also feel like starting with 4 poison is good just to purge, like, an artifact. And it's not really in keeping with the theme of what we're trying to build, but it does make it... And, you know, I'm actually going to buy a block potion for elite fights as well. It does make it a lot... I mean, if it does damage, even better. Because that's 10 damage. I mean, it's stacked up over 4 turns, so it takes a while to really hit. But it adds up. But really, it's more about the artifact aspect of it than anything else. So... Smartest block potion purchase in Slay the Spire history. From me, at least. From me. I can't speak for you. Well worth it. We saved a lot of damage there. Dude, I would happily add another Sneaky Strike. We got lots of discards. Now, the upgrades have to happen. And it is getting a little spooky, because, like, we got some clumped variants with 3 Sneaky Strikes in the deck. But I'm telling you, just... trust the process here. At least for a little bit, trust the process. Incoming damage is 16. Incoming damage is 8. I can live with 8. 16 was a little too much damage for me. For me to feel good about. And you guys could always just, like, hook me up here. Which is my way of saying, you could just give me, like, I didn't discard anything because I'm... But that's okay, I would have taken 7 damage, unless I could have killed you, which I haven't looked at. Note to self, you have to have something to discard in order to get the value out of Sneaky Strike. Note to self. Read the card. Again, even if you've read it 20 times. Anyway, that was still pretty good. Calipers? I was hoping they would give us, like, Eternal Feather or something, but... Okay, so our deck is just like dagger strikes, or dagger throws and Sneaky Strikes, but I don't necessarily think that's that bad, man. I guess having Doppelganger playable on 0 is something. Ooh, Normality. With Normality? Well, it's not as bad, yeah, because we have the discards. So I'll give myself that at least. Still not what I would have chosen for myself, but maybe instead of going to the elites then, we go to question marks to try to remove it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe we could just full send it. We are going to probably need some more block in the deck too. No, because you can play a defend. Use unload. It'll dump a Doppelganger, thus making Sneaky Strike free. Or it'll refund. Because it is different. If you have a mail-in rebate for a product, they won't let you take it from the store without giving them some money. But if you're one of those, like, 5% of the people that will actually mail in the rebate, they will send you a check. In 1996. In 6 weeks. It's kind of like the opposite of, like, buy a couch and you don't pay the payments until 2027. It's like, pay for it now and we'll refund you in 6 months when the money's worth a little bit less. Anyway, I digress. And maybe you'll never cash the check. Burst is a great card. I think that you just take it even though you don't have any huge payoffs with it. You just have to, you take it because you take it. Then I'm going to rest because I'm a little scared. I am going to do the elite fight. Obviously, normality scares me like a little bit. But that's the perfect situation for it, bro. That's the perfect situation for it. And then... The next question mark, if it would do me the service of being a shop, I would be over the moon, man. I think Burst Prepared is going to give us, like, enough attacks to finish the job. Never mind. But we are going to be very close. Perfect. No sweat. We could really use, like, an Eviscerate. An Eviscerate would be a nice payoff for us. Wow. When I saw it, I almost couldn't believe it. Do you lose? I think you lose 20 by doing this. I'm gonna do it anyway. Maybe 432. What? So you lose like 19? Nilri's Codex. I've come to see Nilri's Codex. I used to think it was garbage, because what I want is Necronomicon, because it's kind of hard to screw up. I've come to see it as actually being good, because it can give us a card that we need next turn if we're paying attention, which is always... It's kind of a loaded term, but... let's smoke them all, man. Because otherwise, I think this is going to be really tough. Dump your defense. Dump your basic strikes. This is like, okay, that's the perfect card for us to see. And that's, we didn't draw any of our, like, combo pieces, which is actually nice, because it means we can still draw them next turn. Like, you could, we probably want Piercing Wail here, so you could Dagger Throw, dump a Defend, neutralize on the Collector, Sneaky Strike is refundable, Piercing Wail saves us 18 damage, Doppelganger's out of our deck and at least did something. What do we want next turn? I was doing a little math to see if Grand Finale would pop. Believe it or not, I think we want nothing so that we have a better chance to draw, unload Normality, and all of our Sneaky Strikes. We drew extra because of Doppelganger. Dude, am I crazy? Dude, Grand Finale would have hit. I forgot to factor in the Doppelganger. We have 7 energy. Okay, burst a dodge and roll, because we have the energy for it. Anybody want to explain what happened there? I know what happened there, but I don't deserve to be the one to explain it. Yes, okay. We drew Normality, which we knew was going to happen. Which meant that by the time we played Burst, Dodge and Roll, we had played 3 cards. Ergo, you probably don't need me to say the rest, huh? Suffice it to say, I'm not that pleased with myself, because that, like, it's just there was no reason for us to get, there was no reason for us to take that damage. There was no reason for us to make that mistake. But you know what? We're still here. That's the important part, is that we're still here. We have to discard 2 cards. Probably dump those. Definitely dump that. I think Adrenaline's very nice. There's a very, very realistic chance we still own you. I would almost say it's like baked in. You don't need to dodge and roll. You could dodge and roll. I'm gonna dodge and roll. I didn't I'm not cut out for this life, man. We played all of our skills, so when we used the Sneaky Strike, we didn't get our energy back. Now, it ended up working out okay, but still. Okay, this is tough, because Alchemize is amazing. Tools of the Trade is a discard enabler, but I do feel like we didn't really struggle with being able to discard. It was mostly like my own idiocy, to be fair. I also feel like we have so many discards that we can absolutely make a Runic Pyramid work. The problem with Runic Pyramid sometimes is your hand gets full of garbage. But I feel like we have enough cycling that we don't have to worry about it as much. But I do feel like we have to... We'd love a late shop, which is very unfortunate. I'm thinking maybe we'd try like this shop to remove normality, skip the next shop, and then one of those question marks up at the top might be a shop, but... I'm not gonna take 1 damage. I'll burst this doppelganger. 4 energy, 4 cards is kind of crazy. Caltrops would actually be nice, just to give us another damage source against the spikers. Obviously, we know now. But we want to make some space. So first play 1 card. That way prepared can draw 2. I'm stunned that we don't have like a second defend, but that's okay because we can play those 2. And I'm kind of like, I didn't really think about the boss. We don't really have... Do we play any powers right now? We played 1 Noxious Fumes that we don't even have to play, but one power is usually not a deal breaker on the Awakened 1 fight. I need a block. I know this seems crazy, but like I need to burn a potion because I need a block, man. I can live with that as far as blocks go, but I need a block. So I would love to build a suite of great potions. We already have 8 block. Let me think about this for a second. Not that one. If we could build a suite of great potions for the boss, we'd probably be, I don't know, maybe even a favorite to win right now. I think our deck is fairly good. I think a second Eviscerate can only help. We're going to hopefully see multiple shops. So buy it. It makes the removal half price, which is like pays for itself. I do think the deck is maybe like a little... Well, 26 cards is pretty nice, actually. I wouldn't say that's too thick or too thin, man. Maybe dump a basic here. We do... I mean, Eviscerate is going to kill you, so let's play Alchemize. That was pretty sweet. Tactician is another card we want, although we're already... possibly like too rich on energy, but dude, and then you spend the potions here, you get a burst alchemize, rebuild the potions. Dagger throw, dump tactician. A good attack potion. I mean, they're both pretty good. Let's go die, die, die. You guys do start with 1 vulnerability, which is very nice for me. More energy. Well, one of you is cooked. Play this. Play this. You know, I mean, they're probably going to get a potion after this, so just go ahead and pop that. And I do feel like a Masterful Stab is going to cause you a lot of problems. I don't want to, like, you know, get too high on my own supply just yet, but I feel like this might have been the easiest rare relic anyone's ever gotten in history. Giria, I don't want to be rude, and Acrobatics is interesting, but I normally would take it, but I just feel like we have enough discard payoffs right now, man. I hate to say it, I'm going to go to the shop but probably buy nothing because I don't want to fight the super elite unnecessarily. I'm going to buy something. I'm going to buy Adrenaline because it's really good. We only need like 63 gold to remove the other curse if we get one anyway. Check this out. Duplicate Adrenaline to get something that discards. My god, it's full of stars. Discard Tactician. Pop a colorless potion. Mind Bullets, that's Telekinesis, Kyle. That allows you to have the space to burst Alchemize, which also gives you a letter opener. You're done. You're done. You're not done, but you're not feeling too good, I'd have to imagine. I have to imagine you are not feeling good at all. Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Did you see how this run really started to gel? You see how it really started to come together? Nah, I don't know. The deck's good, man. You see how it really started to come together once we got alchemized? That the whole thing just, it started to flow, man. It lubricates the joints. I don't know what you want me to say. It makes everything a little bit easier. Dump. I don't really want to dump anything, man. Dump a dagger throw? I'm not stoked about it. Oh, dump it. Dump it and dump it. Use it. Use it. Use it. Oh my god, it's all coming together. Burst. Alchemize. Then you get a burst to defend anyway. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous what this deck can do. It's ridiculous what that card can do. 18 damage? Are you kidding me, man? That's a problem. That's a real issue. I think you're still dead, like, next turn, but I haven't taken damage in a while, so that was kind of, like, surprising to me. If you are not attacking me, then I am not going to kill you, because I want to heal as much as possible. Now you're attacking me a lot, and you gotta pay the iron price. I do want to fight the elite. I should have skipped. I understand. People always tell me you can skip the chest if you have cursed key. That's true, but I don't want to. Like, because there's a relic in there. You probably, you know, I get that, like, there's times when you might be like, my run is good enough, so I don't want to jeopardize it by taking a curse. But like, I'm gonna click that button every time. So just be aware of that. 9 damage. Okay, I can live with that. I completely forgot what I was talking about, by the way. But if I'd known that it was going to be Warpaint and upgraded Defend and a dodge and roll, I probably wouldn't have been as stoked. But it's okay, life goes on. I think this is fine. What do we got? 2 turns left? 2 turns to deal 200 damage. If we get the right setup, that's every day, bro. It's like the rare, we don't want to burst, but we need to hold a burst so that unload has something to discard, so Sneaky Strike can actually work, man. Hold. 40 damage. That's more than I expected. 34 damage, still kind of like a lot. But we can always rest. Like, I would rather not. I would rather upgrade, but I think our deck is relatively well upgraded. Maybe no big deal. And now we have to hold a single defend so that unload has something to hit. So that Sneaky refunds and then Eviscerate goes crazy. That's not even that bad. Now, Bottled Lightning is crazy, dude. What do we want to start with? It's an insane choice. These are all great cards. Upgraded Adrenaline is kind of like a gimme. But Burst is also so nice because it can work with, like, anything. It can work with Adrenaline. It can work with Alchemize. I think you want to start with Burst, knowing that on the first turn you draw more cards anyway. So I was just going to say, you're, like, relatively likely to get an Alchemize. You know what? Dump a Defend so we lose Clumsy. Strike him with the Flex Potion. Burst Alchemize. We may not get a potion for finishing this fight, so I'm not going to burn these potions just in case, because a Cultist Potion could be really valuable in particular on a long fight. Okay. I'm not gonna say no to any of those cards right now, but I'm definitely not gonna say no to a leg sweep. What is this? Is this a joke? You already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, like, I know that there's defense in our deck because I put them there. Can I also tell you, in all honesty, this is the first time I've ever noticed that we have Runic Pyramid. I think, like, there's probably been some other times where I've held on to some cards, but, like, otherwise, we're and that's good, by the way, but we're doing such a good job of, like, cycling our cards through with, our dagger throws, our unloads, etc., that, like, I mean, there's nothing to worry about, man. I guess I would just defend unload, like, sounds good to me, man. I think I gotta kill you. Yeah, that's the only way, like, we couldn't have taken damage there, I think. A rare relic, tungsten rod, crazy good. Go ahead and arrest me. I know we got Guria, but we don't really, like, I don't think the attacks, the power of the attacks is not what, like, finishes the job for us, I think. Trash. It's a trash draw. I'm not afraid to say it. You got eyes. You can see for yourself. I'm just hitting you all with, like, straight up letter openers, man. It stings, but... Now, the good news is we got these sneaky strikes that we can hold and, like, deploy next turn. And we start with 12 block, which is also nice. So I think you got to pay the price. Because you're, like, the only enemy here that actually is, like, a long-term threat. That's very nice. That's very nice. Good. Oh, I think we got you right where we want you, buddy. I think we're going to win. The one thing is... Start there. Let me think about this for a second. Better potion? No, I would say worse potion. For our circumstances, at least, yeah, I'd say worse potion. But you need to take a hit. Like, this is the thinking man's game right here, okay? I'm going to take a little damage to kill you because I'm lazy. But we didn't even take... We might have taken one because of Tungsten Rod. Give me a Distilled Chaos. Let's get through the elite first, and then we'll talk about whether we're going to have a good chance on the boss, okay? I think we should power. None of these are amazing for us. But it does make something free. And then Distilled Chaos. Also kind of struck out, but at least it enabled that very easily. We should have bursted that too, but whatever. Okay, Burst, Alchemize. I'm going to throw this on you because I just don't think it's that valuable of a potion. It's more valuable on an enemy we could kill, like, within the time scale of the 6 poison, I guess. I don't think you're dead. Oh, I had an extra attack. You're only going to get hit once from the poison, too. So if we take damage on this turn, that's gonna sting, man. And I'm here to tell you, I think it's going to sting. I mean, we got close. We're gonna rest anyway, but it's the principle of things, man. It's the principle of the things. Okay, the one thing I'm worried about is the fact that, like, it does behoove you to have, like, better defense on this fight than we have. But the Cultist Potion is gonna help us out a lot. You should honestly, like, dump this, man. I'm embarrassed by our draw. Had to be done. Now, there's a lot to like, though. In particular, if we get an Ancient Potion out of Alchemize, we get a ton of decks. Are we going to wait for Burst to come back around? No, I don't think we will. You need to die. You can die with 3 skills. So I'm willing to do this. Oh my god. It actually worked out exactly as we suggested. 25, you're doing 29? Honestly, we might be okay taking just a little bit of damage to get a decent doppelganger, and then we don't have to see it again. And I really, given that the fight is going to be pretty long, I only want to add cards that I want to see either for immediate benefit and, like, long-term who cares, or they actually help us out long-term. Which, I didn't believe that any of those actually did. That's going to sting. Like, leg sweep, I think that can even the odds for us long term. But I really think, like, the numbers are just too much in our favor right now. I don't think that there's anything that they can really do. I screwed up. I can't play my sneaky strike, bro. Oh, but I can play the unload. I find it hard to believe that I would want to have another doppelganger, to be honest. I find it hard to believe I want to play like a relatively bad power against you. I find it hard to believe we're not taking damage on this turn, but the truth may surprise you. Let's add a decent block. And every turn that we stall is actually like a huge win for us, he said, Copley. Because of the fact that we're gaining extra strength every turn, and you, on the other hand, are not. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, you could have spent as much time in phase 1 as you wanted. It doesn't really bother me. I don't know why I'm still drawing cards. I guess I'll just pass my... Oh, that's horrendous, man. Stone calendar popping when you're invulnerable. Yeah. You can't resist us, Mr. Powers. It's done. We can hold a catalyst with Runic Pyramid until you got enough poison to make it worthwhile. Sorry, guys. I thought it would be like a little bit more exciting at the end here. I didn't realize we were just gonna like dog walk it. That's my bad. We'll smack you. We'll smack you. We'll eviscerate you. We'll eviscerate you one more time. We'll double your poison, basically because you have so little HP that it will kill you pretty quick. And this actually ended up being, and I've said this a lot recently, so I apologize, but you got to remember where we started from as well. Which is like, we did lose a few low ascension runs in a row, which was very, very embarrassing, even though I really shouldn't have an ego about my skill in this game. So, like, to win several in a row that are kind of clean, it does feel like I'm starting to get my hands around the rock again, you know, to put it in strongman parlance for absolutely no reason. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Upset a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And, of course, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.